Superstarters, and welcome back to week 5. Thank you so much for joining us. This week is actually our last week that you're going to have the physical warm-up, body and rhythm and pitch exercises along with the vocal warm-up and Christmas song, because we hope by the end of these videos you will be ready and prepared for our practice rehearsal session next week. So give it your best, enjoy, and we'll see you then. Bye now. Superstarters, it's time for our beat and rhythm activity now. We're going to start off by asking you to try and find something in your house that you can make a sound with. It could be 2 sticks like I have, or 2 pencils, or you might have a pan and a wooden spoon that you could tap, anything at all. So I'm just going to hang on while you pause the video, and then when you found something, bring it back and you can unpause. Okay, so I'm hoping that you've managed to find something. Great. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to sing our song Apple Tree, and we're going to have a little look at my picture here, and we're going to see if we can tap the beat on your found sounds. Now, a big thank you to Victoria Bowler, because this is free from her website, and as you can see, she's drawn in the heartbeats for the beat of the music. And then don't worry about the apples, we're going to look at that in a minute. Okay, so the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to tap my stick and I'm going to point to the beat to help you know where we are. Let's get our note. Ready, steady, off we go. Apple tree, will your apples fall on me? I won't scream and I won't shout if your apples knock me out. Did you manage it? Great! So now we're not going to do the beat anymore, we're going to move over and we're going to look at the pattern of the words. And do you remember we call that the rhythm? So let's see if we can just have a look. We've got 2 small apples and then a large apple, so that's apple tree, apple tree. Let's see if you can tap the words following me, pointing to the rhythm. Off we go, apple tree, will your apples fall on me? I won't scream and I won't shout if your apples knock me out. Did you manage it? Don't worry if not. You can of course pause the video and rewind and try and follow it again, and practice makes perfect. If you were at school, or if you have someone else in your house that you can ask to join in with you, one of you can try and follow along just tapping the beat, and the other person can try having a go at tapping or clapping the rhythm and seeing if you can do it at the very same time. Now don't worry, it's quite hard to do this because your ears will tune in to what the other person is doing and want to copy them. But with a bit of practice, you'll get there, and it's a lot of fun to have a go as well. Another idea is, if you don't have anyone else in your house who is able to have a go at this, you can actually do this by yourself. All you need to do is try and stamp the beat in your feet and try and clap the rhythm at the same time. And that is quite a good coordination challenge for you, but have a go. Now we're going to move on to Bell Horses, a song that we've been working on, and I don't know if you can see, but we've got both the beat here, the hearts, and we've also got the horses, and the horses are there to represent the rhythm. So every time there's a sound in the word, that's when we're going to see the horse and we're going to clap it. Now, this is very, very slightly different to the version that we've been singing. Have a little listen. It goes, bell horses, what's the time of day? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, time to run away. So it's only very, very slightly different, but I wonder if you can take your found sounds and see if we can start off just having a go at the beat. There is our first note again. Off we go, bell horses, what's the time of day? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 and away. I like the sound of my sticks. It reminds me of horses' hooves clipping along. So you can try that one again, but you can sing it at a faster tempo, which means that the pulse will be faster, or a slower tempo, which means that the the pulse will be slower, just like a very fast horse or a slow horse. Now, bell horses is really special. Can you see here? This heartbeat doesn't have a horse above it. So this time, when we do our rhythm, when we don't have a horse, we're going to say shush. So it's going to sound like this. Bell horses, what's the time of day? Shh, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, time to run away. Shh. Oops, I put a tap in instead of no sound at all. Maybe you can have a go with me this time. Ready, steady, off we go. Bell horses, what's the time of day? Shh, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, time to run away. Shh. Did you manage it? Great. Maybe even better than me. Well done, everybody. That's fantastic. We're just going to try one last thing, which is to do the whole thing, but in our thinking voice. So all we're going to hear is the sound of our found instruments. So have a go at singing it in your head, but playing the words on your instrument. Ready, steady, thinking voice. So again, you can have a go at that as many times as you like. And if you go to victoriabowler.com and if you put rhythm and beat in, you'll find these resources there. Have fun! Hello Superstarters! It's now time for our very last pitch activity. Well done if you've managed to work through all the previous videos up to this point. That's great. Today what we're going to do is we're going to start looking at reading music or pitch in the way that classically trained musicians do. We started off by looking at reading music on just 2 lines, but traditionally music is actually read on 5 lines, and it's on something very special called a stave. So this is the stave, and as you can see, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. And in between the 5 lines, we actually read the spaces as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces within these 5 lines, but there's actually a little space above and a space below these 5 lines. We give these 5 lines a special name. It's called the stave. Can you say it? The stave, that's right. So the reason that we have the stave is so that we can play all the notes in music. But if you think about it, there are far more notes in music, say even just on the piano. It's more than those 5 lines and 4 spaces and 2 more if you add above and below. So we need to work out which section of music these lines are referring to that we are supposed to play. And this is where this beautiful symbol here comes in. It's actually like on a map, you have a key to decode what you're reading on the map. And we call this, in music, a clef. And the word clef is French for key. So just like on a map, this is how we're going to decode what the notes are called. This particular clef is called the G clef. And the reason it's called the G clef is because the very dot here is actually on this second line, which we call G. The other name for it is also the treble clef. So treble or G clef. Now, if you play the flute or the glockenspiel or the recorder, this is the clef that we use, and it's a very important clef. I just thought to finish with today, we would have a little quiz. All I need you to say is either the word line or space. Do you remember we had a little go at this whereby you told me if you saw a note which was in the space, my head's supposed to be the dot, or on the line where the dot runs through the line. Are you ready to say line or space? Here we go, super starters. Here's your first one. Line or space? It's on the line. Line or space? It's actually in the space above. Line or space? It's on the line. Line or space? It's in the space. Line or space? It's in the space. So well done. I hope you managed to get all those right, and congratulations for finishing all our pitch activities so far. Hi everyone, welcome back to our Christmas song for this week. I thought what we'd do is we would have a little listen to Christmas is Coming as performed in a round. So you're going to hear Victoria Bowler, and she starts by singing the song by herself, and then you're going to hear some more instruments coming in after her. They're going to start at the beginning of the song as she carries on singing the song, and this is what we call singing in a round. So let's have a listen, and I'm going to point to the music as we follow along.
Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, then God bless you. Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, then God bless you.
Are you feeling Christmassy yet? I think that's so lovely. Right, well I thought what we could do, because we do have our instruments, is why don't we accompany ourselves singing this beautiful piece of music. Now, of course, this is just for the glockenspiel and the guitarists, I'm afraid. But perhaps if you are a trumpet player or a brass player or a recorder player, what you could do is somebody else in your house could maybe hum your first note, that Christmas, the whole way through. And that's what we call a drone. And don't worry, if there's no one else in your house who would like to do that or could do that, then you can go to Victoria Bowler's website and you can have a little go at singing through with her as a round. Right, so if you are a glockenspiel player, you can take the red note or the C, and you can play it the whole way through with your beater like this. Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put the penny in the old man's hat. Did you hear I was playing the beat? Well done if you did. Or if you want to take it up the next level, of course I didn't get to the end of the piece there, I was just carrying up to I was just playing to a certain point. Maybe you could take one beater in one hand and the other beater in the other hand, just like we know how to do. And with your left hand you could play a C, and with your right hand you could play a G. So that's a K and a G. Let's hear how they sound together. Isn't that lovely? Let's see if I can play that the whole way through and I can sing along. Off I go, Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, then God bless you. Great. Have fun, have a go. You might even come up with your own little accompaniment. If you're a guitarist, you can choose one of your open strings. So have a listen to the string itself and then see if your voice can start on that same note, and you can pluck that string the whole way through. Now, again, if you don't want to do that, or you want to maybe glockenspiels, play those two notes along with Victoria Bowler, it will sound lovely. Okay, and guitarists, you can play your open G string with Victoria Bowler if you've learnt that one yet so far. Okay, well done everybody. Merry, Merry Christmas. Well, Super Starters, we've come to the end of week 5. 5, would you believe? So we have completed all the material. All we need to ask you to do now is to practice your jingle bells. Watch the videos as many times as you like, enjoy, and we'll see you next week for our rehearsal session. Bye now.